Hi, and welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak and The Bag show for Monday morning, August 13th. We've got NFL preseason continuing this week. It's we're chugging along in the dog days of August in MLB. I don't remember exactly how last week went overall. There were some good days and some bad days. I've been on a weird, unpleasant run where I've had very bad Fridays, 2 Fridays in a row that ruin all my gains during the week. But during the week, I've done well. Today we of course have just a small MLB card, and we also have I've also been continuing with my NFL research, right?
As you should.
Yeah, so I'm starting to think about, some of my opinions are continuing to get formed, not with all the teams, but with more and more teams. Jimmy the Bag, how are you feeling right now about this week in general and where we are in the sports betting season?
It's a transition time, and I'm gonna hit today's MLB card pretty hard.
Yeah.
If it goes poorly, I'm going to start taking a couple steps back and focusing on football. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but I won't be tweeting out the link of the show anymore. We need to improve the interactions with Sportsbook Reviews tweet for the show, so I will be retweeting that tweet. So that's how we're going to get the show out to you on Twitter. Just a quick little change for us. But I guess
because of the lack of those interactions, they actually think that people don't like the show, and we're like, but just look at the show. It's like, nope. Analytics is all that matters. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, Jim?
It was a little concerning.
Yeah.
It was a little concerning because I'd been tweeting out my own link, but whatever. Back to MLB, I think there's some really positive opportunities on this card in a few
Trust
of the games.
me, people like the show. Trust me. All right, let's move on.
I think there's some big opportunities, and I'm going to hit those games very hard. I'm going to go for a score today. I'm going to quadruple up on a couple of these games after we've talked them through, and to ensure that I'm on the right page. I haven't made any bets yet, but the A's are now 2.5 games out of the West, and everything can change. Everything can change for me. Not only that, but there should be some hedging opportunities to guarantee a grand or two. There's no hedging opportunities yet because there's 3 teams still in the race. Mariners sweeping the Stros in 4 games. They are in the race. But it's very exciting. Very exciting. 50-1 on the West and 100-1 on the AL with the A's. Only bet half units. I mean, it was a big long shot. I only bet $100 on each bet, but made full unit bets here on the show. And it could change everything.
All right, yes, and let's see, and also if you since we have a relatively modest card slate on the card today, why don't we do a quick promo for Intertops? What's that's all about, Jim? You know the details of that, right?
I do know that we asked, we had the Intertops 100% up to $500, but we found it was just for new accounts. So a lot of the low baggers said we need a reload bonus for people who already have accounts. We went to Intertops. They came back and they gave it to us, and I believe it's Reload 2018. I'm not sure exactly what link is on the bottom of the show, but I have it here. It is NFL Reload. NFL Reload, 50% up to $200 American. That's for Canadian and Americans only. Can only be redeemed once per customer, and you have until Super Bowl. You have until Super Bowl to hit this NFL Reload spot. So that's what's going on for the show. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe people don't like the show. If you, maybe I shouldn't say trust me. People like the show. If you like the show, tell us how much you like the show. Maybe we can. Maybe that data counts, right?
No, we don't need. Let's focus on.
They tell us.
Count?
All right.
Okay.
We
don't need to force it. We don't need to force it.
All right. So let's see what we got going on today. There's a few plays that people are talking about Leicester. There were people who were saying since the All-Star break that Leicester was maybe a second half fade candidate, which I definitely generally agreed with. Other comments coming in. Kobe Valentine says Leicester actually pitched very well, and so did Scherzer. It was the pen that let him down. I'm actually thinking though that Leicester will continue to be overvalued going forward. Let's see. Marco Lou says, "Oh my God, Leicester sucks. Should fade him for the rest of the year." Yeah, maybe that's a little bit draconian there, but I would agree that I'm generally looking for Leicester to be overvalued going forward. Let's see other comments coming in, and I guess that's it. Where are all the commenters, Jim?
They're here. They're here. Is the Lenovo not delivering?
No, the Lenovo is fine. Lenovo is fine.
They're good. I had a tough weekend. Only made 2 bets. Really relaxed, but well, I mean, on Friday I had an okay night. Now 13-6 in CFL, but in the weekend the Rockies won 3 straight games by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
So the Coors Field fade's been taking its lumps. It's still
Yeah.
up overall, and I'm not going to stop with it, but it's nice to get a day off of it.
All right, so Monday is interesting today. It is Homer Bailey Day. It is Bartolo Colon Day. It's also a Clayton Kershaw Day, which is and Madison Bumgarner. People are wondering, exactly where to price those guys.
Homer Bailey Day.
Yes, Homer Bailey Day. So, and there was right, and then we have the doubleheader. So let's start with the first game in the doubleheader. Lopez against Toussaint. Obviously, Toussaint is a huge prospect. Definitely an above average starting pitcher. Not sure I'd want to take Atlanta at minus 200 here, and I think it's going to be a pass for me.
Yeah, this is not the way I want to start the day either. Toussaint looks good. Started 16 games in Double A Mississippi, 5 games in Triple A Gwinnett. Combined, he went 6-6, 2.68 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. Struck out 139 and 117 in the third. Exciting prospect, Haitian. And very exciting prospect. I'm looking forward to watching him work. Pablo Lopez has looked good. Braves are in a tough stretch. Braves are in a stretch of 22 games in 20 days. They're exhausted, but they've smashed Miami this year, 8-3, including 4-1 at home. Lopez made his major league debut June 30th. He allowed 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 walk in his last 13 innings. So he's actually, there was a time where I thought maybe Lopez wasn't that good, and he's looked very good in his last 2 starts. This will be his first start against the Braves. They haven't seen him.
Yeah, this one I was vaguely thinking about a shot with the under here, maybe a shot with the under 9. Although you do have 2 questionable, not questionable starting pitchers, but young starting pitchers, and Miami, their lineup I think is subpar, right?
Yeah.
Who's in the lineup for Atlanta? Can we check that?
Yeah, let me get it up.
Let's quickly check that. There might be a bat or 2 out for Atlanta.
As there should be. 22 games in 20 days. They need to handle this properly and not be exhausted. I don't worry about the lineup as much. It's a lot of youth. Freddie Freeman smashing right now. Markakis is hitting at a level I've never seen before. Actually, he's putting himself. I know this sounds crazy, but he is putting himself in the Hall of Fame discussion.
Who?
End Markakis.
Oh,
I know
really?
that sounds nuts. But if you look at his numbers overall in the year, overall in his career, and by the end of his career, he could have those kind of numbers. But it looks good. Acuna, Albies, Freeman, Markakis, Camargo, Enciarte, Suzuki, Culberson, and Toussaint. I like that lineup. It's Miami's lineup that looks very weak. Very weak. Ortega. And then you have a Prado, Real Muto, Dietrich, but then Riddle, Galloway, Sierra, Rivera. That's a very, very soft hitting lineup.
Yeah, I would be thinking about the first 5 innings, which if there was a 5 available, which there's not. Looking here at SBR odds, it's only 4.5. And you know what? This is a borderline play for me. The under at 9. Maybe I'll throw it on there though. Toussaint is probably going to be good, right? In this start.
Yes, looking at that lineup, this is a perfect spot for him.
Lopez has been decent.
He has been good.
All right, I'll throw this one on there. I'm going to take Miami, Atlanta. Game 1 under 9. It opened at minus 105 here at Pinnacle. Now I could get the best line right now, line shopping at SBR odds, minus 115 at Bookmaker, minus 115. It's down to 8.5 at some places, minus 125 at Pinnacle, and I will take a shot with that.
I like that. I like that play. That play makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on it.
You want that one too?
Yeah,
okay.
that makes sense.
All right, okay. Miami, Atlanta, under 9, minus 115. And, why don't we throw up the MLB record? Why don't we throw it up? I actually had a...
Did you include my weekend losses?
Yes, I did, Jimmy the Bag. So that's how we're doing so far. I'm slightly shy of 40 units. Once again, I was up in the mid-40s in the middle of the week, and then once again had another crappy Friday, and I think I had roughly a break-even weekend. So, it's these Fridays that are kind of screwing me right now in MLB. Hopefully that's just fluky. But yeah, I'll take a shot with the under here, 9 minus 115. Let's see if anyone is commenting. Let's see. Commenting. Any commenting on this?
I think I'm going to make this bet. Under 9, I'm getting minus 125 at my book, but I think that makes sense to me. It really does. I'd be a little concerned about Freeman and co smashing Lopez, but he's pitching well. What's the weather like? Is it a nice sunny day?
It's a little hot. I could see this one going over late, but which is why I would also be leaning to the first 5 under. Except the first 5 is not 4. It's not 5. It's 4.5. So I'm going to pass on that one. But yeah, it's a borderline play, but I'm going to take it. All right. Any other people commenting and giving us opinions on this?
No, I guess people weren't sure if the show was live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not live here on this thing. See,
Are we live?
we are live, but you can't get the link. They asked me to tweet out their link.
What's going
man.
on?
That link doesn't work. The link that they just tweeted out for their show, for our show, excuse me.
The link doesn't work.
No,
Are
that's
we-
why people are thinking. That's why you're not getting as many.
That's why I knew it. But we are broadcasting.
Yeah, we are broadcasting, right? It's just that probably nobody is watching because of this. Oh man! And they asked me.
Right.
That's
And you know who's
annoying.
going to get blamed for that?
So annoying.
You and me, Jim. You and me are going to get blamed for that. You know what I'm saying? What should we do? It's unbelievable. In life, what you want to do, doing a good job doesn't matter. The important thing is blaming someone else. If you want to be successful in life, what you have to do is become a scammer. Find a way to become a scammer. There's lots of different options, lots of different avenues. The most important thing is don't worry about doing a good job. The most important thing, take credit for other people's work, and any mistakes, push to someone else. Little life advice from Peter Loshak here on Monday morning. So are we live? What are we doing here?
I don't. They say that we're live. I can't tell. I just wrote, is anybody watching this show?
Yeah,
It wouldn't
it's
even-
definitely not live because there's no comments coming in, but is this should we keep talking? Is the show going to be live eventually? Ever? Little help? Anyone? What's going on here?
Yeah, I can't even write in the.
Yeah.
All right, so are we just doing the show for us? The show is airing, and how many? Are people watching the show?
No.
Okay, I gave them the link that SBR gave. So. Okay, so do you see that people are watching the show? Yeah. All right. Okay, I can't get the commenters.
Yeah. I'm using the link that Henny Noble sent me, or I'm looking at the link that Henny Noble sent me.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we are.
But in the
I got
meantime,
it
we
now.
are live.
Yeah.
And people are watching all this shit. All this shit. Once again, if you guys wouldn't mind commenting that we should not be blamed for this, even though we will be. It's you know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're good. Let's not get irritated.
Yes. The worst thing you can be in life is a decent, honest human being. Don't do that. Anything else, and you'll be okay.
All right, let's.
All right. So where are we? Are there comments coming in?
Yeah,
What
we're
the
in
hell's
now.
going on here? Are there people commenting and laughing
we're
at us?
in. We're in. No, they understand our apprehension and our anger.
Mm-hmm.
And Native Queen says, just get to capping. They don't give a fuck.
Oh.
They couldn't care less.
But we didn't know if we're live.
We didn't know, but we are.
Okay, all right, okay. So now we are. All right, so let's continue. Okay. All right, so once again, Jimmy the Bag and I are both taking Miami, Atlanta under 9 minus 115 as an official pick. A little bit borderline, could easily see this one going over late, but I will take a shot with that one. Just took another jump down at Pinnacle. All right, so how do I find this link? Because I want to read the comments.
Teddy B says it's your fault, Loshak.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so how the hell did you find the link? Sorry, I just want to get to the comments, Jim.
I went to YouTube. It showed that there was a live show going on.
I got you. All right, so now let's move on, Jimmy the Bag, to the rest of the card. Let's start with Homer Bailey Day. Cincinnati first 5 team total over has got to be a no-brainer play right there.
Yes. Yeah, so Bailey blamed Intel on his start against the Mets. I didn't bother writing down his quote. I was so disgusted by it. But he said he was told that these batters were going to be extremely conservative and they were swinging at first pitch, and he wasn't able to change his focus and the way he planned to go at them because of the what the pitching coach had told him, and he just threw everybody else under the bus and not himself. Yes, Homer Bailey looked terrible after having a good start. I'm not sure exactly what to make of him, but I clearly left. You weren't here on that Monday. I could have given that pick out as the birthday pick.
Yeah, that's what I suggested.
You suggested the following day.
Yeah, the following day. I'm very good at that as well. That's another thing you can do to make people think you're smart. Make predictions about things that have already happened, and and don't clue them in. And a lot of times you'll get away with that.
Bailey 1-9, 6.19 ERA, 1.59 WHIP through 80 innings. Allowed 5 earned runs and 11 hits in 3 1/3 against the Mets. Indians smash righties. Game time 80 Fahrenheit, wind blowing sideways. Reds are 30-23 since June 10th, 10-5 against the American League. Took 2 of 3 from the Indians July 9th to 11th in Progressive Field. Clevenger, he looked much better against against the Twins on Wednesday. Gave up 1 run, 5 hits. I know that a lot of people were thinking that he was possibly somebody to fade moving forward. And against the Reds, he gave up 5 runs, 7 hits, despite striking out 11. I think that the first 5 over and full game over. Do you trust Clevenger here? I think
Not particularly.
I think that the first 5 over, full game over, Cleveland team total overs.
Yes.
Indians -1.5.
All right, here we go. Now I'm seeing all the comments. Okay, now there you go. What's the first comment you have there? Is it in full effect by Q Peso?
No.
No, there are a lot of other comments. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Salty Dog 93 saying this is hilarious. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Slight confusion there. We were we had the wrong link, and now I am seeing all the comments coming in. All right. Great. So were there any comments that came in, opinions on the first game in the Atlanta game, in the Atlanta doubleheader that we didn't see?
No, I missed it.
So we have no idea what anyone thinks about
the under 9.
Right. Okay.
But I am going to bet it, and I still haven't yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to need a second. But we got to a game I really wanted to talk about. So SM says Cleveland more hits for Cincinnati. I think this. I mean, I feel like I should take another stab at success here in this season. It's not over yet, and I feel like this is just could be a slam dunk for offense.
Sure. I mean, I think that, whether you're up or down units, that shouldn't affect, your handicapping on any individual day or play. And if you want to fade Homer Bailey, that seems like a smart thing to do, regardless of how your season has gone to date. And I have to do that. If I don't do that, it's interesting, though. The line is not that high. It's 2.5 plus 100 at Heritage, and Pinnacle has 2.5 minus 105.
The market's moved heavy to the under.
Yeah.
Which was very surprising.
Very, very surprising. This is an evening game, of course. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Opened at 9.
Jay Patel saying he bet under. Maybe they're going back to that Miami game now. I'm confused.
No, but there's definitely a big market move to the under.
I know the market move. I just
game.
mean the cappers on the chat. So they're back into the Braves Miami game.
Cleveland's lineup is strong as ever, right?
No, it's not.
What's up with the
right?
Cleveland lineup?
I believe there's some injuries that they're dealing with. Let me just make sure that they are existing quickly here. I believe that they're injured. Well, we know that Martin is out, but I heard that there was an injury to Encarnacion as well.
And that might be why the line is headed down. All right, I was also thinking about the first 5 over on this one, which is down at 4.5. Which is a very, very eye-poppingly low total considering these starting pitchers. Obviously, Bailey could be considered an auto fade, and Clevenger vulnerable in general. So this is an interesting game. I'm going to hold off until the evening show on this one. There's a 7 o'clock start, so I can make my final decisions there. Obviously, leaning to the Cleveland first 5 innings team total over. Also leaning to the first 5 over in general at just 4.5. But I'm concerned about the line movement, the strong line movement to the under, and I'm going to hold off for now.
Pimpy Lock Stackings is a great name.
Yes.
A new commenter, Pimpy Lock Stackings. I like it.
Yes.
I guess if Edwin will sit today, says Kobe. Yes, he's dealing with a hand injury.
Look at this. R2D2 Finland says 4-week paid vacation started. Thanks, Loshak and Jimmy and everyone. Profited 4 of 92 euros this weekend. Thanks to you. I haven't had close to 4 weeks paid vacation my entire life. Not even close. Not even close, Jim.
Edwin is on the DL, says Pimpy Lock Stackings.
I'm talking about total in my life.
You work too hard.
There you go. Shout out to R2D2. Enjoy your vacation. All right. So SM says why play Cleveland Cincinnati under with Bailey pitching? I don't know, but the market is certainly headed down, and I'm still leaning first 5 over and the Cleveland first 5 team total over as well. Tomar says the Cleveland bullpen is still bad. I think the value with Cleveland is taking their team total overs. Yes.
Yeah, it's a tricky spot.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about it. It's a tricky spot. And
Kobe Valentine says Edwin Encarnacion will sit today, shoulder injury.
but the only reason why I say it's tricky is because of the market move.
Yes.
Other than that, I thought this was very simple, and I was going to hammer these.
Yeah. Gary Avery says Cleveland team total over 4.5. Lots nice. All right, I'm going to. I made my decision. And here's some comments, some plays coming in from Native Queen. Miami, Atlanta, no score in the first. That makes a lot of sense to me. And Miami to score first. Miami first 5 money line and plus a half. Interesting.
Lathrop coming in here. I'm on Cleveland first 5 team total over 2.5 feet.
First 5 team total
As
over
he should
2.5.
be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me the team total. But I mean, is this market going to continue moving down? Could we get a better line?
I
later?
doubt. I think it's probably already made all the moves. That who knows? Who knows? Unless the lineups come out and someone else is unexpectedly sitting, then it could go down even further. But I can't imagine this one will go further down than where it is right now.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. Why don't you give me? I'll take both team total overs right now. I'll lock that in.
Clevenger. Kobe Valentine says Clevenger isn't good against teams that have players who can hit. I lean Cleveland over and Cincinnati plus 1.5. So Kobe Valentine leaning on the over and Cincinnati with some value as a big dog. Sosana says Encarnacion placed on the 10-day disabled list.
Yeah, give me the team total overs.
On both of them.
Yeah, on Cleveland,
right.
just Cleveland.
Just Cleveland,
First
right?
5 full games.
Right. So the Cleveland first 5 team total over right now is 2.5 plus 100. That's the current line at Heritage. 2.5 plus 100, and then the full game is let me find it right now at Pinnacle. It would be 5 minus 107, and at Heritage, Cleveland would be let's see, 5 minus 110. All right, so we can give you the full game over 5 minus 107. So Jim is doing a double up on a fade of Homer Bailey. I might join him, but I'm going to wait until the evening show to make a decision on that one.
And that is that. But that's not because you think that you'll even get a better line.
No, it's just because I want to think about it, want to see where the line moves, and just makes me a little bit nervous right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All right, now let's move on. It is also Bartolo Colon Day, and I'm feeling the same way. Auto fade of Bartolo Colon here. Arizona, of course, I had a losing day in my tweets yesterday, but I did tweet out Arizona -1 as one of my winners yesterday. The Arizona lineup, not a juggernaut, but should be productive against weak starters. Cologne obviously is not terrible, but I think this might be another auto fade spot for Cologne. What do you think? First 5 team total over.
This is a strange day for Texas because only 83 Fahrenheit at game time.
Mm-hmm.
That's about 20 degrees cooler than what we're used to here. And I feel like that will be easier for Greinke. I still like those plays, but I'm not as sold in the overs as I generally am. It's even like 24 degrees cooler than it was on, I believe, Friday there. So with all that information, and Cologne didn't look bad against the Mariners. He looked fine. I think Greinke's in for a nice opportunity. 12-7, 2.89 ERA, 1.04 WHIP. He's lost 2 straight, but he's been very solid in them. 3-5 with a 2.61 ERA in 15 games versus the Rangers. He's getting this excellent opportunity to pit in Texas when it's not 107 degrees. And I think that he'll be good here. So I'm going to make 2 plays here. I'm going to take, and I know this is a play that you've warned me off making, tried to as best you could. But I'm taking Diamondbacks first 5 minus a half run and full game -1.5.
All right, let's see. I can't say I disagree with that. I would be leaning Arizona -1 as well. And I'll you know what, Jim? I'll take that one. I mean, this does have a trap written all over it. It seems like it's too obvious, but I will take a shot with Arizona -1. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna think about this one. I'm gonna think about this one a little bit more. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Arizona -1.5, the best line right now. Line shopping here at SBRodds.com, -103 at Pinnacle, and then the first 5 innings for Arizona -0.5. First 5 -0.5. Let me do a little bit of line shopping for you there. Jimmy the Bag. Let's see, -125 market wide. So you're on first half -0.5, -125. Arizona -1.5, -103. And I would be leaning Arizona -1, and I'd be leaning Arizona first 5 team total over 2.5, even at the big -145 line. Although it is, how much of an auto fade is Bartolo Colon really? Let's get to some comments. Maybe some people can shed some light on how much of an auto fade Bartolo Colon is right now. Really.
Wadi, he's talking about Ditch with no Pirates. Tomor says Greinke's in good form. R2D2 says I think Colon will surprise, and I will take under 9.5. Justin Paul says Arizona and Philly can't hit for shit on the road. But Mark Lathrop, I'm on over 9.5 runs in Texas, going against the line move.
Yeah, I mean, I did make an auto play on this one when it opened. I got 2.5 -130. That's now moved about 15 cents up, which is no surprise there on the Arizona first 5 team total over. But I'm wondering if it might not be some kind of a trap there, Jim.
Yeah, I think this is a nice chance for Greinke. I know this Rangers team smashes, but getting a chance to pitch here in Arlington at 83 degrees on a summer night is something that he should be able to take advantage of.
Greinke. Yeah. Feels that way. It does feel like Greinke should have a decent start. All right, I'm going to think about this one a little bit more. We'll get to some of the other games, but while we're getting to some of the other games, before we get to some of the other games, why don't we read some comments and see if are people fighting in the show? Apparently people are some fighting in the chat section. Let's try to keep that to a minimum, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We all just want to be friends here, make some jokes. You know what I'm saying? If you have any bad feelings inside, direct them towards me or Jim, and then we'll deflect it, make some jokes, and we'll all have a good time with it. But let's try. We want this to be a fun experience for everyone, and not people to get not to get turned off. So I'm not saying don't fight in the comment section, but if it's borderline, do us a favor and opt towards not fighting. How about that?
I think that was a nice thing to say.
Very nice.
Colby says Colon has simply given up way too many runs this season, and going against Greinke, I'm not confident he'll be able to do much of anything statistically as well. Sestana says Greinke is 3-5 when starting against Texas with an ERA of 2.67 and a WHIP of 1.079. And Jerry Rogers says all this show is a bad show. Jerry Rogers.
Well, people are fighting. Bruce Shad says got to call out the frauds, Pete. Look, I'm the only one who's not a fraud here, and you don't want to be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the bottom of the totem pole and going lower down. Let's see. Other comments here. Other comments coming in. Let's see. All right, yeah. So Kobe Valentine, Colon is simply giving up way too many runs this season. Going against Greinke, I'm not confident he'll be able to match much of anything statistically well. Yes. Earlier in the season, Kobe was not quite as down on Colon as the rest of us were. Now it seems like he's coming a little bit closer to our way of seeing things with Colon. Let me see. Tom Reno says I don't trust Colon at this point of the season in a hitter's park. Mark Lathrop, I'm on the over 9.5. R2D2 Finland, I think Colon will surprise. I'll take under 9.5. Tom Marino says Greinke is in good form. What else do you have here, Jim?
I'm comfortable with the spot. I really think that you can take advantage of a pitcher like Greinke with the temperature being so much cooler and more comfortable. Rob Rogers says liking Texas, Arizona over. We've all been impressed with Texas's offense in the last little bit, but I feel like this is a good spot. Huge Erection says, Pete, are we going to get your videos with Brent from Brett DSI this year, or is Brent not returning your calls? No, Brent would always return my calls. Who knows what's going to happen in the future with Bet DSI, but as of right now, there are no plans for that show to happen. Answering your questions, Huge Erection. Let's see. Other comments. All right. So, yep. And who said that? Mark Lathrop is also on Cleveland first 5 team total over, Pete. All right. So let's get to the an interesting game on the card. DeGrom against Severino. Obviously, DeGrom has been awesome. Huge shout out to Red Girl for giving DeGrom strikeouts over in his last start. That one cashed easily. And Severino, of course, off a better start. But he, as I suggested at the All-Star break, has definitely been slumping recently. Some people are suggesting that he might have a minor injury of some sort. The line has gotten bet way up, about a 25-cent move from the 160s into almost the 190s now. I don't know. Are the Mets' first 5 innings maybe a no-brainer play, or is that a huge trap here? I see major thunderstorms expected throughout the day and night. I'm not entirely sure if this game's going to go off. I don't want to spend too much time on it because of this. Yankees have won 6 of 7. Mets are 9-9 in their last 18. Giancarlo Stanton, as we talked about, has caught fire. DeGrom, best ERA in the majors, 1.77, 15 straight quality starts. 1-4 with a 3.67 ERA and 5 starts against the Yankees. Severino, I mean, God, he looked like he had a slider working a better, I guess, against the White Sox in his last start. But he is 2-3 with a 7.31 ERA in his last 6 starts. He allowed 3 runs, 7 hits, 7 innings, struck out 8. Against the White Sox, a weak hitting lineup. Severino 2-1 with a 1.15 ERA and 3 career starts against the Mets. The Mets are actually starting to hit a little bit. Their numbers against righties have improved. 233, 705 OPS overall in the season. Still terrible, but an improvement. And I don't know if this game's going to go off, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until we get a weather report closer to the game.
Okay. Justin Paul says, loves Pete's voice inflection every time he says huge erection. Thank you so much, Justin Pauls. You know what? You know what? I'm good at my job. I'm fucking good at my job. You know what I'm saying? People. If anyone sees analytics that says I'm not good at my job, they need to figure out better analytics that are more accurately reflective of reality. That's my opinion. Thank you so much, Justin Pauls, liking my pronunciation of huge erection. Yeah. All right. I'm going to pass on this game for now. You're right. I want to check what the line movement is. Weird line movement. It's a tough starting pitching matchup, and I want to check to see what the lineups are. So let's. I'm going to pass on that one. Let's move on. Malone against Mikolas. How about that? That's an interesting game, Jim. Obviously, Malone. We both predicted that Malone would get hit in his last start, and he did. He's still, though, not giving up any walks, So his control is still good, and Mikolas just chugging along. Super, super reliable. 7 innings, 2 runs every single time out. Very impressive. This one, I'm thinking maybe a shot with Washington on the second half here. Mikolas does go kind of deep, though. He does go like 7 innings. He's not one of these guys who usually gets pulled after 5 or 6. When he's pitching well, you're usually looking at a 7-inning start. But I'm thinking that Washington in the second half might be a play here. After the sweep against KC, I'm not sure this is a great spot for St. Louis.
Interesting, because I think Malone's going to get touched again.
I'm talking about second half only.
I understand, but I think Malone is going to get touched again. I do not trust him. With Schilt running the show in St. Louis, they're now 16-9. 7-2 road trip they're coming off of. I understand it's difficult to be at home after a 7-2 road trip. Nationals coming into town off perhaps their toughest loss of the year. That was very sad for Nats fans, but I'm not one of them with what happened last night. Malone last worked Wednesday night. He looked bad. 10 hits, 7 runs against Atlanta over 6 innings. Won both his career starts against the Cardinals, 3.46 ERA, but I feel like he's going to continue to get touched.
Jerry Rogers with a specific question for us. Are you ever going to answer your listeners? Jerry Rogers, the answer to that is no. Continue, Jim. No, I'm just kidding around. Of course we will. Jerry Rogers says, will you be speaking at IFBC? The answer to that is no, we should be. But we are going to be doing live shows, right?
Yeah, we're doing live shows. We're going to do one Friday before people come in or whatever. But we're going to do 2 a day, Saturday and Sunday in the space. So we're doing a live show at 9 a.m. and then like a 35, 40-minute lunchtime show as well, because there's an hour-and-a-half lunchtime break. So
there you go. Justin Rogers, no, we will not be officially speaking, but we will be doing live shows. And as you can probably imagine, those might wind up being some fun-ass shows to be watching, right, Jim?
Well, we got some stuff in store. We
do?
planned some stuff out.
All right, there's your answer. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be bad. I hope I just go to IFBC, do the 5 best shows I've ever done in my life, and bang, drop dead, and that's it. Done for me. Peter Loshak, bang, 5 exclamation point, 5 awesome shows, and drop dead after the last one. Pow. All right, Jim. Let's move on.
I feel like Malone's going to be touched here. I really do, and clearly this Nationals bullpen is hurting. I'm feeling like the Cardinals aren't in a great spot. I can understand somewhat, but I would like to fade Malone again.
Look at this, Red Girl Jimmy. I'm trying to do a prop video today. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
We'll show it on the Late Show if you got it locked.
Once again, Red Girl, great call on DeGrom. Strikeouts over in his last start. All right, Jim, I'm taking Washington second half minus 119. It's a little bit risky because Mikolas is so good. Mikolas does tend to go 7 innings, but I don't really like the spot here for St. Louis. I do think that, with all the mental issues that Washington, or whatever, chemistry issues or whatever, they have a nice lineup, don't they?
Sorry, the Cards?
The Nats.
Yeah, they have a nice lineup.
They have a nice lineup.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So I'm taking Washington second half minus 119. That's a current line at at Bookmaker, and but I'm also thinking that Mikolas has a nice little start here, and I would be leaning, I don't know, maybe St. Louis first 5 innings, maybe Washington team total under in the first 5 innings. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like Mikolas is probably more likely than not going to have another solid start. What's funny?
Marco Luz saying, Jimmy, if you do not host IFBC, Skip Bayless wins.
Hell yeah!
Do not let Skip Bayless win. That's
Hell
so funny.
yeah!
That's so funny. No, I'm not hosting. I'm not hosting IFBC this year. Okay, well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take Cardinals first 5, and I'm gonna take the first 5 team total over for St. Louis.
Craig McFink says, weird move by SBR. Lack of confidence in Pete and Jimmy. What's the deal? What's he talking about? The fact that we're not
on a panel.
We're not on a panel. Yeah, listen, because that's how, you gotta fucking whine and complain and beg and persevere and this and that. Just doing a good job will not be enough in life for anyone. All right, so what are you taking here, Jim?
I'm going to take first 5 and first 5 team total over.
For St. Louis?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, St. Louis first 5 and St. Louis first 5 team total over. So you're really liking like Malone to get hit here, huh?
Yeah, I just yeah, absolutely I am. I don't know how hard I'll get hit, but I'd like him to get hit.
All right,
and
so
I like Mikolas. But how are the Cardinals too big of a favorite on the first 5?
They're pretty big. They're
big?
150 everywhere. I can check Pinnacle, which might give you 149. But
okay, no, I'm fine. I'll take -0.5.
A -0.5.
Yeah.
Okay, let me find what that line would be. Let me find it just quickly, Jim. -105 everywhere. Line shopping here. So Jim's going to take St. Louis first half -0.5, -105, and then the St. Louis first 5 innings team total over. You want that one too, right, Jim?
I do.
All right, so let's see. That will be 2. Let's see what the odds are. Let's see. 2.5 plus 105 at Pinnacle, and then Heritage has what? Heritage has 2.5 plus 100. So we can give you 2.5 plus 105 if you want.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Susanna telling me to wait to the late show, but I might make more plays than this on this game. I'd just like to start here. Give me over 2.5 team
plus
total.
105. Okay,
Yeah.
so Jim's taking St. Louis first 5 team total over 2.5 plus 105, and St. Louis first half -0.5 run at -105. I've thrown on Washington second half -119, even though they do have a very suspect bullpen, as people have suggested. Let me see. Any other comments coming in? Yes, Mr. Gokster 99. Malone will get spanked.
Well, I have a double up I want to make right now.
Holly Dilly says, Pete, stop with the leans and have the balls and just bet it. It's usually winners. Thank you so much, Holly Dilly. Yes, no, I have somewhat successfully pushed myself into giving my leans more this year, and it's been a good thing in general. All right, go ahead, Jim.
I'm doubling up on the Chicago White Sox today. Lopez versus Artie Lewicki. Game time temp 81 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in sideways at 6 miles per hour. Tigers have dominated this series so far, but this is just a mess of a ball club compared to the one that was dominating the White Sox. They have won 8 of 9 against the White Sox. Yes, the White Sox have lost 5 of 6, but now you're taking Castellanos out of this lineup. He missed Sunday's game with a bruised right foot. His status is questionable. He may be in there. Jacoby Jones exited with a right hamstring tightness. He underwent an MRI, likely headed to the disabled list, will definitely not be in the lineup. You keep taking players away from this lineup, it becomes more and more like a AAA lineup.
Detroit, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lopez has looked good of late. Right when we thought maybe he was dealing with some arm fatigue, he looks good. Held New York Yankees to 1 run and 4 hits in 7 innings, and then limited Kansas City to 2 runs and 5 hits in 7 innings. He had no hitter against that tough Yankee squad through 5. Lopez has faced the Tigers recently, allowed 3 runs, 9 hits in 6 innings. 4 career starts against them, 1-1, 3.00 ERA. Lewicki's been ineffective in his 2 starts. He's 0-2, 4.76 ERA, 1.56 WHIP over the year. A lot of that's come from the bullpen. He did face Cleveland both starts, which is very difficult, and had a tough time against them. In 12 games at AAA Toledo, 5-6, 4.67 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. And I'm taking White Sox first half and full game here.
All right, I bet the under on this game when it opened, and I guess I will give an official pick on that one. Under 9 minus 105. That is the current line at Bookmaker. Obviously, both these starting pitchers, don't inspire a ton of confidence when you're taking an under, but the lineups are pretty chintzy, right, Jim? Or not?
The lineups are pretty bad. They're pretty bad. There's no question about it. Neither team hits righties. The Tigers are hitting 231 with a 651 OPS versus righties, and then take Castellano out of that lineup. And White Sox are hitting 240 with a 706 OPS versus righties. They're playing better.
Yeah. All right. So what do you want here, Jim?
I want first 5 White Sox, full game White Sox.
All right, White Sox first 5 and White Sox full game. I might take the White Sox on the second half here, although weirdly, bookmaker really doesn't want action on Detroit. They are begging for White Sox second half action. They have them down at -118, which is a little bit interesting. But let's see. So the White Sox full game right now, line shopping here, SBRodds.com, -103 on the full game, -103 on the full game, and the first half. Let's see, line shopping here, SBRodds.com, free customizable line service. Wow, much worse. So the market expecting, giving Lopez some credit here. -125 everywhere except for U-Wager, -115, Intertops -120. So we can give you a U-Wager -115. Other places have a -125. So right now, a lot of market uncertainty and disagreement as to where this first 5 innings line should be. Pinnacle right now at -118. So that's pretty interesting as well. Pinnacle a little bit lower than other books on the first 5. Go ahead.
Knows is with you on the under. White Sox Tigers.
Right. Nolly knows with me on the under. All right, let's see. Wykeem Hill says, "What's the picks?" Mr. Gokster likes White Sox first 5. Okay.
Lathrop says, "I'm liking your St. Louis play. Jimmy with Malone struggles against righties. He should see 7 today."
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think I'm going to go more in. DeSantis telling me that take a pause and not push it right now. But I'd like to add more to that play. But I'll leave it at where it stands right now.
Okay. Let me see. Von Polo says, "Best show ever. You did not know this is the best show on the channel. Huge shout out. Best show ever." All right. I'm thinking about the White Sox second half here, but you like the White Sox first half. Mr. Gokster 99 likes the White Sox first half. You don't like this spot starter for Detroit? He could have an okay start. His last appearance was not bad, right?
Yeah, he's fine. His 2 starts were against a tough Indians ball club. He's not terrible, but I like Lopez here. I like Lopez gaining confidence against this very, very weak lineup. Native Queen says Chicago White Sox first 5 money line and plus a half. And first 5 team total over 2.
So Native Queen thinks that this guy will get hit a little bit. Okay, all right. Let's see. Other comments. Let me see. Justin Paul says the Tigers play White Sox very well. Yes, I did notice that. Not sure if that's just a randomness or not. Here you go. Kobe Valentine says backing either one of these teams is risky business. Neither has been that much profitable. Tigers are at home. They've beaten up on the White Sox in the past meetings. Yes, that is true. In fact, the Tigers have won 9 of the last 10 against the White Sox, which includes 8 wins this season. That's true. It's a little bit weird. All right. So let's move on and let's get to wait a minute. Are people saying? All right. Let me see. Justin Searcy saying, yeah. Let's just try to rein in the negative comments. You know what I'm saying? We do our best here to provide a good show. You know what I'm saying? We do our best to provide entertainment. And I understand that people like to talk shit and like get pissed off in the comments section, but we want it to be an enjoyable experience in general, right? So if you wouldn't mind doing us a favor and keep that in mind, or not, whatever. Trying to rein in the
try. I mean, our chat is what makes our show special. So there's times where there's more anger involved in it than others, but let's fight the good fight together, man.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about the Clayton Kershaw game now. This is Bumgarner against Kershaw. We do want to get to the other games, keep a little bit of a brisk pace here, but a massive favorite line here for the Dodgers. Obviously, Bumgarner. I feel like both Bumgarner and Kershaw might be a little bit overvalued right now. Giants, obviously, dog shit pen. I don't know what to think here. I guess I would be leaning Dodgers, but no way I want to take them at this line.
With this line, it makes me want to take the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can pull the trigger on that, but it certainly does. Kershaw should not be this big of a favorite. Both offenses have very tough time with lefties. Dodgers 226, 692 OPS. Giants hitting 249, 696 OPS versus lefties. Game time 76 Fahrenheit. Wind blowing out very softly. This will be the 11th matchup between these two guys. They're 5-5. Kershaw has a 2.00 ERA, 0.81 WHIP in those duels. Bumgarner 2.56 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. One thing I do like in this play is I do like the first 5 under. I'd be surprised if 4 runs come up in the first 5.
You think so? Because I was thinking that this might be a sneaky play on the over. I was thinking that Kershaw only had 1 strikeout in his last start. It was still pretty good. Bumgarner's been doing good. Bumgarner's been doing fine, but There are people who are suggesting that he might be a little bit overvalued and there might be some negative regression coming up. I'm going to pass on this game for now. Jimmy the Bag, you want to make a pick on it, or let's move on?
No, I think you're right. I think it's maybe take a little bit more time on this. To me, I see value on the Giants, and I think it takes a little more time. Yeah.
All right, I'm sure there's a lot of comments coming in on this one. Daryl Lyle, sneaky over in Dodgers, San Fran over 7. Kevy K says, Kobe, I like the White Sox today. All right, Jim, you're on that one as well. Let me see other comments. Let me see.
Scotty Rock says Pete take the under. Mark Lathrop says Giants plus 1.5 today. This game is 3-2 written all over it. Scotty Rock says this game ends 4-1 Dodgers.
Okay, I'm going to pass on the... Yep, there you go. Scotty Rock forever. This game wins 4-1 Dodgers. Scotty Rock forever, of course, from San Francisco, from the area, knows this team back and forth. All right, let's move on. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about? All right, Seattle and Oakland. How about that? Gonzalez against Minaya. Minaya hasn't been great, but Gonzalez suddenly 2 bad starts in a row, right? Or at least he's given up a bunch of home runs recently. Seattle coming off the sweep of Houston. A lot of people were predicting that Seattle would be a good fade in the second half because of how many one-run wins they had in the first half, but they've maintained their, they've not been a team that you want to be fading game in and game out. I'm thinking this might be a spot to take Oakland here, especially at this low line. I don't really like to bet against Gonzalez. I'm not sure if those 2 bad starts that he had were indicative of further struggles to come. Minaya, up and down. Obviously, when he's on his game, he can have elite stuff. Last start wasn't that good. But I'm thinking that, one way or another, this is a spot to take Oakland, and I might take him on the money line, not my usual -1 type of thing that I do.
Gonzalez has looked very bad his last 2 starts. No doubt about it. I want the Athletics to win this game so badly that I don't want anything to get in the way of the cap. In game time, 761 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out to right center. Pretty strong, but, it's World's. A's have won 9 of 11. Seattle coming off that great sweep. Diaz saved all 4 of those games. God, is he incredible. Mariners have done everything right against the A's so far this year. They've won 3 series. They have 10 more times that they're going to meet coming up in the last 7 weeks of the year. Gonzalez, 12-7, 3.79 ERA. He's looked very good against Oakland so far, 1-0, 2.51 ERA. Enters the game having allowed 19 hits and 11 runs in 12 innings. 0-2 in August after a 4-0 July. Minaya, though, coming off an ugly effort in L.A., and that's against a Dodgers team that has a lot of trouble versus lefties. Both these starters look very susceptible to me. I'm not entirely sure what to do. Both teams can hit lefties. Mariners 263, 730 OPS versus them. A's are 249, 735 OPS for lefties. Yeah, I don't have a play on this at this point, but both these pitchers seem susceptible to me.
Kevy K says Seattle, Oakland, flip a coin. Probably take the dog here. Only way to get value. You know what though? I'm gonna take Oakland here. I think that it's a better spot for Oakland than it is for Seattle. Seattle's off a great series where they swept Houston, and a low line with Minaya. There's been a 10-cent market move in favor of Seattle, but I'm gonna take a shot with Oakland here. And actually, BetMania is headed down even further. BetMania is -116, so I'm gonna take that one. Oakland money line -116. The Greek has -120. The line does appear to be headed down. Might be headed down even further, but I'm gonna take a shot with Oakland money line. -116 here, and we'll just see. All right, Jim?
Yeah, I get it.
All right, let's move on to Toronto and KC. This guy, Reed Foley, is starting for Toronto. He's had good numbers in the minors. Excellent results in the minors. Keller for KC, not great, but not terrible. Of course, KC in general is a bad team right now. And this is another one, despite the starting pitching maybe being a little bit questionable. I was thinking about a shot with the under. There is 9.5 -120 at Heritage. Everywhere else, BetMania has 9.5 -115. Other places have 9 at plus money. I was thinking about under here.
Yeah, it's we've been waiting a long time. I mean, I know he's only 22, but we've been hearing about Reed Foley for 4 years.
Yeah.
Kevin Tantillo says, Pete, write it down. Toussaint will start the first game of the NLDS for the Braves this year and next year. He will be better than Newcomb or Folty.
Wow, I'm not going to write that down because
that's easy to remember.
That's a prediction for for a few months. But that is an interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got a huge upside. We'll see how he does today. I'm on the under, and I think Native Queen might have had a really good play on no score in the first inning. That might be a great call right there. Yeah, you might be right there. Obviously, big upside for Toussaint. Let's see how it turns out. I'm going to take a shot with the Toronto KC under, though. I just feel like these offenses are underwhelming, to put it mildly, right?
Yeah. Reed Foley, he didn't look that dominant in Buffalo. good numbers. He looked incredibly dominant in Double-A. Started 8 games there, 5-0, 2.03 ERA, 1.06 WHIP. Then 15 games in Triple-A, 7-4, 3.50 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. You're right. Those are 94 Ks, 27 walks. I guess I'm being a little harsh.
In Buffalo?
In Buffalo.
Also, the other thing is that his first start in Buffalo was terrible, and then his subsequent starts were great, which is another thing that I'm worried about. There are some guys like that when they take their next step up a level, their first start at that new level a lot of times is bad, and then they'll start to do a lot better after that. But and I'm concerned that that's the case here with Reed Foley. But I'm going to take a shot with the under anyway. Under 9.5 minus 115. That's the current line at BetMania. BetPhoenix. Heritage has 9.5 minus 120 at Full Juice. Pinnacle has 9 plus 111. Other places have 9 at plus money. But I'm going to take a shot with KC under 9.5 minus 115. I know either of these starting pitchers could be vulnerable. And Toronto, what happened with that series where Toronto was so explosive offensively? Was that a fluke, or do they have that potential in them at any time?
No, I think that I mean
mostly fluke. Mostly a fluke.
Mostly fluke. I mean, the thing is, they were getting production from players that they don't expect to get production from.
Mm-hmm.
Grychek got hot, Travis got hot, and when you're getting production from those guys in your lineup, you're going to succeed.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll get to the Angels-San Diego game in a second, but once again, here are all the picks. Jim has given quite a few picks here in the morning show. Jimmy the Bag is on White Sox first 5 innings, White Sox full game, money line. Miami-Atlanta, game 1, under 9. Arizona, first 5 innings, -0.5, and Arizona full game, -1.5. Cleveland, team total over 5, and Cleveland, first 5 innings, team total over 2.5. And St. Louis, first 5 innings, -0.5, and first 5 innings, team total over 2.5. Plays I've given so far: Oakland money line, the KC game under 9.5. Miami-Atlanta game 1 under 9. Washington second half money line -119, and the Detroit game under 9 -105. The second game too in the Atlanta doubleheader we can talk about in the evening show when we know how game 1 went. Other than that, we've covered everything except for the San Diego and Angels game. And once again, the San Diego looks like as they often are year in and year out, kind of a sneaky, nice play as a small home dog or favorite. Today they're a small home dog. I'd be leaning San Diego again here.
Yeah, I get it. Myers may be back, will hopefully be back, and would be back as a third baseman. Winds blowing in, 77 Fahrenheit. Padres have looked good in August, and Trout's on the DL. Simmons is day-to-day for the Angels. Heaney's not looked good lately. Both these guys have such discrepancies of their home numbers and road numbers. They're so different from each other. At home, Heaney 7.2, 2.90 ERA. On the road, 0-5, 5.30 ERA. Opponent's rating 267 off of them. Padres' hottest hitters: Renfroe, Reyes, Margot, Hedges, right-handed hitters who are best against left-handed pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Maybe this is just a simple play to make. Now, do we trust Clayton Richard enough?
Mm-hmm.
He's been much better at home than he is on the road. At Petco Park, 3.76 ERA compared to 6.28 ERA on the road, but can we trust him enough?
A lot of comments coming in here on the KC game that I let me see that I didn't quite see. Let me see. Kevin K says, Pete, should we just go on under first 5 in KC, given the state of the Jays and the Royals bullpens? I mean, that's a great point. I don't want to double up on this one. I think the bullpens are dog shit, but this might be a spot where the bullpens might not be quite that bad, quite as vulnerable. But yes, I mean, what's the state of the Jays bullpen, Jim?
That's terrible.
It's terrible, right?
Yeah, terrible.
I mean, they added Giles, didn't they?
And that hasn't even helped.
Well, you got to save in his last game, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he's been touched too. Kevin K says Angels all day. Sorry, but Richard's velocities continue to decline. Angels can't hit lefties, but they can hit 85 miles per hour.
That's a good point there, Kevin K. On the first 5 under in the KC game. I'm just I think the bullpens are bad, but I'm just not obviously. Understatement, but I think that this game overall, I think that either the starting pitchers will be a little bit surprisingly better than expected, or the starting pitchers might get hit a bit, but the bullpens might be a little bit better than expected. So I'm just going to take a shot with a full game, and if it loses, it loses. I definitely don't want to double up on it, but that's a great point, Kevy K. Brant Hunt says Oakland is a sneaky good play. Let me see. Big Ragu says play on KC, please. First starters are always a bet against.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess he's thinking that Toussaint's going to get touched by this weak Marlins ball club. I don't think it's just black and white like that. But I'm not going to back Reed Foley here.
Let me see other comments coming in. R2D2 Finland says, I am with KC and with Pete on the under. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It goes. Let's see other comments coming in.
Lathrop saying San Diego has a good bullpen ERA. Still good even without Brad Hand, who's looking very good for the Indian. R2D2 says KC first 5 was a good point with bad bullpen.
Let me see. I'm going. I'm scanning. Okay. So no play on the San Diego game for you, right, Jim?
Not right now. I mean, to me, I agree. San Diego seems to like the play, but I want to take some more time with Clayton Richard. He just looks terrible. He's throwing it so softly up there. I very, very difficult to trust. When you saw the Mets smash him, you're like, God, this guy's awful. Is he going to be that much better at Petco? I don't know.
Match Fixing Alert says, all these Oakland lovers squares latch on to what they just seen, but Seattle just came off a great sweep, right? Wouldn't Seattle, is Match Fixing Alert saying that because anyone who's on Seattle, you can make the same argument. They're coming off a great sweep against Houston. Let me see. SM says, anyone on Seattle, Oakland second half under 3.5. Bullpens are solid. That might be a nice play there. Kevin K says, no way. I'm backing Richard. Other comments coming in. Yeah, Tom Marino says Padres lineup doesn't have power, not as much of a disadvantage at home since no one hits home runs in San Diego. Mark Lathrop, San Diego actually has a good bullpen ERA.
Yeah, SM saying anyone on that 3.5 under second half with Seattle, Oakland, bullpens are solid, and then Carl says SM, that's cash. Mark Lathrop saying Padres bullpen 2.44 ERA in the last 14 days. That's impressive without those two guys they sent to Cleveland.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure what I think about this game. I'm going to stay off of it for now. Is that it, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, that's all I'm at this point. I do think, though, looking at everything, that I may want to add more to the Cardinals spot. I feel like I'm going to spend some more time, I guess, wait for the lines to come out and stuff like that, but I do feel like that's a nice spot. That's what I'd be adding.
All right, so let's just review every game and go down the line. Miami, Atlanta, game 1. Jim and I are both taking under. We'll see how this guy Toussaint does. He's obviously got huge upside. Not sure that it warrants a minus 200 line in his first start. Mets and Yankees as a pass for both Jim and I as of right now. There is supposedly rain in the forecast. It might not go off. And, of course, a 25-cent line move in favor of the Yankees. White Sox, Detroit. Jim is on the White Sox 2 ways, first 5 innings and full game, and that was endorsed by a bunch of people in the comments section. I took a shot with the under in that one at 9. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Jim has taken Cleveland first 5 team total over and the full game team total over as well. Fade of Homer Bailey. That's how I'm thinking. It's interesting though that the total has gotten bet down, and we know there are some injuries on offense for Cleveland, but Jim has already pulled the trigger on Cleveland team total overs. Miami, Atlanta game 2. We'll address that in the evening show. Arizona, Texas. I'm definitely leaning, Arizona -1 and the Arizona team total over first 5 innings. I did bet that one. We'll see, but I might be overthinking this one. But Jimmy the Bag has already taken Arizona -1 and the first 5 innings -0.5. -1.5, right? Washington, St. Louis. I took a shot with Washington second half, despite the fact that they have a bad bullpen, and I'm vaguely thinking about taking a shot with St. Louis on the first 5 innings, and Jim has pulled the trigger on that one. Jim's on St. Louis first 5 team total over 2.5, and St. Louis first 5 innings -0.5, -105. Toronto, KC, again, questionable starting pitchers and dog shit bullpens, but I'm taking a shot with the under 9.5. -115 on that one. Some people suggesting that Casey might be a play here, that Reed Foley is going to struggle in his first start. Again, he did struggle in his first start at AAA in Buffalo and then settled down in a big way after that. Seattle, Oakland. I took a shot with Oakland -116. The line is moving in Seattle's favor, though. San Francisco Dodgers, that's going to be a pass for both Jim and I. And the Angels and San Diego is also going to be a pass for both Jim and I. And you know what? I just realized something. I have to take Arizona first 5 team total over against Bartolo Colon. If they score 2 or fewer runs, all right, I'll eat the loss. But if they come in there and score over 3 or more runs, which I think they're going to do, it's just a no-brainer play. And I'm going to throw that one on there. Arizona first 5 innings team total over 2.5. I did bet it at -130, and I'm going to get a worse line right now, but that's okay. That's how it goes. The line I will get right now will be -145. -145. That is at Pinnacle. First 5 innings, team total over 2.5 minus 145, Pinnacle and Heritage. And I'll throw that one on there as an official play as well.
Sounds good.
All right. Any other final comments coming in on let's see. Raul Rogers says, Toronto had a dud weekend. Bats will probably come around today.
Yeah, match fixing alerts likes a play in the Denmark Super League. Esberge, plus 240.
The draw. That I'm going to write down. He didn't ask me to write that one down, but I'm gonna write that one down. Esberge.
That's exciting.
Draw plus 240. Super League. I'm writing that one down. I wrote it down.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah, not applicable. Toronto money line. A lot of people coming in liking Toronto here, and I guess the Royals are just god awful, so that does make some sense. And Keller faced the Jays out of the bullpen twice, got touched each time. Very tiny sample size.
Let me see. All right, just looking at comments coming in. Suze 387 says, shout out to Loshak and The Bag. It was rough with your guys' insight. Without your guys' insight this week, SBR, give them 7 days a week, 3-hour time slots. Thank you so much, Suze 387. Match fixing alert says, everyone on Stroh's Lomax when I told you Seattle will roll close GB. So match fixing alerts. I assume he likes Seattle here. Does match fixing alerts like Seattle, or does he like Oakland here?
He definitely doesn't like Oakland. He thinks people are just latching on to because they're 9-2 over their last 11.
All right, and I guess that is it. Is that it, Jim?
Yeah, that's it. Lots of work to do because I'm going to add plays. I think I'm going to do more. I might even. I need to look at that Dodgers-Giants game a little more and the Cardinals game a little more. I'm going to add plays.
All right. Before we wrap it up, though, Cody AV says, and let's pay our respects to Gabe. Yes, that's true, of course. We got the sad news that Gabe Morency's mom passed, and that is sad. Our hearts and our thoughts, of course, go out to Gabe Morency. I was reading how he was talking about how he just thought that she loved him so much, and it was just a sad story to hear. But it was great to hear that he had such a good relationship with her, and I don't know what to say. I'm not really good at stuff like this, but our thoughts and our hearts are definitely with you, Gabe Morency.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. We love you, Gabe, and just sending strength and everything to your family. We care about you so much, and just much love.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll see you at 6 o'clock Eastern time, everyone.